Thank you. Welcome to our webinar, where today we are talking about the Soil Health and Nutrient Managed Challenge presented by the Innovative Farmers Association of Ontario and Foresight Canada. I'd like to remind folks that we are recording this today in case people aren't able to join live, so they can view it later. Before we dig in, it is with gratitude and respect that I acknowledge today I am joining from Toronto, which is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and are now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. I also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. I would also like to pay respect to the Algonquin people, who are the traditional guardians of Ottawa, where my co-speaker is joining from. We acknowledge their long-standing relationship with this territory, which remains unceded and unsurrendered Algonquin and Anishinaabe territory. We honor the peoples and the land of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe Nation and pay respect to all First Nations, Inuit, Métis, and Indigenous people who call Ottawa home. We acknowledge the traditional knowledge keepers, both young and old, and we honor their courageous leaders, past, present, and future. And I invite you to reflect upon the territory from which you're joining. So today, we'll be starting with an introduction, which we're doing right now. We will set a bit of context and talk about the need for the challenge. Then we'll go over the challenge statement. We'll talk about key dates and eligibility, the application process and evaluation, and then we'll have lots of time for questions and answers. My name is Heather Crochettier, and I'm the Director of Innovation Challenges here at Foresight. I am joined by Tori Waugh from the Innovative Farmers Association of Ontario. Tori is the principal consultant of Conservation Ag Consulting, an agriculture sustainability company driving innovative solutions to conserving soils in Ontario. She's a thought leader in innovation adoption programming in the agricultural sector and a Clean 50 emerging leader. As the executive director of both the Ontario Soil Network and the Innovative Farmers Association of Ontario, she has a wealth of experience in event planning, research coordination, organizational development, program design, delivery and evaluation, and strategic planning. Her background lies in agricultural and conservation industries. She completed her master's in environmental sciences at the University of Guelph. And now I would like to pass it over to Tori to talk about the IFAO.
Yeah, the IFAO is a grassroots organization with a mission to support innovations in financial and environmental sustainability through connection and collaboration with and amongst farmers. We've been built over 30 years by perceptive, innovative, and resourceful farmers to improve their own production practices and the sustainability of Ontario agriculture as a whole. Our ability to build partnerships and collaborations has frequently made difficult challenges surmountable. Knowledge and technology transfer events and applied research are longtime components of the IFAO's activities and impacts, and we're proud of the people and relationships that make up our network and support our work. We're very excited to be launching this challenge and sharing more details on what we're looking for today.
Thanks, Tori. And for those who might not be familiar with Foresight, Foresight is Canada's clean tech ecosystem accelerator. We bring partners together to identify, commercialize, and adopt the clean technologies needed to address today's most urgent climate challenges. We support the identification and validation of clean tech opportunities and the successful commercialization of solutions. We bring together industry, government, academia, investors, and innovators to address today's most urgent climate issues and support a global transition to a green economy. And we recently launched a new big, hairy, audacious goal that is that Canada will be the first G7 to achieve net zero. So we accelerate clean tech through 5 main groups of activities. We have accelerator programming, where we support companies in different stages and sectors to accelerate their technologies, scale, or commercialize their technology solution. We obviously run innovation challenges for industry partners that want to improve their processes or reduce environmental impact. We support companies in capital attraction and also export development. And finally, we connect the stakeholders in the sector using our Helix 5 model. Again, those stakeholders being innovators, industry, investors, government, and academia. And we're proud of our impact. Since 2015, our work has led to a variety of impressive outcomes, including the creation of over 7,100 green jobs, supporting over 900 SMEs, and generating $362 million in revenue. And for us, it's really important to ensure that industry demands the technologies we promote and accelerate. And so challenges are a really great way to make sure that innovation is market driven. So now I'm going to pass it back to Tori to speak to the specific soil health and nutrient management challenge.
Thank you. Healthy soils are the backbone of environmentally and financially sound farms. They mean clean water, carbon sequestration, biodiversity, and better net profits, but they're not a simple solution to take on. Every farm is different, from their operations to their soil type and climate, so solutions need to be adaptable and support farmers to improve their operations. Can I get the next slide? We're looking for innovative solutions that hit those two big key areas: improving soil health and managing nutrients better. And that can be in a wide variety of ways, from rate timing and placement to improving soil structure and water holding capacity, or even just reducing erosion. A successful solution will be appropriately scaled for the average field crop operation in Ontario, which is 1,000 acres, and will improve nutrient management in one or more ways and soil health simultaneously. Next slide. A successful project will be capable of running 3 or more pilot projects across Ontario, demonstrating their solution in active operations over a minimum 3-year period. And we're looking to support that solution with $20,000 per year in funding. The successful applicant will also have the opportunity to present their technology alongside a farmer panel at the annual IFAO conference in front of hundreds of farmers and be featured in communications campaigns targeted directly to those first adopter farmers. Next slide. And then specifically, we have a laundry list of wishes, and they're a laundry list, and we recognize that perfect is sometimes the enemy of good, and so we're really giving you as much information as possible to see you succeed and to see successful solutions come to the foreground. We conducted some focus groups to understand the barriers to adoption for currently available soil health and for our nutrient stewardship practices, and this is what we found. On-farm trials, farmers will not readily adopt technologies or solutions that come out of controlled trials and greenhouse studies. They need product claims to come from on-farm trials. That's where we come in. Soil health assessments. There's many different means of assessing soil health, and soil health changes over time. And those assessments need to be transparent, actionable, and comparable. And that's why we're partnering up with the OMAFRA soil health team to implement their soil health assessment protocol on these pilot projects. Profitability. It's the greatest determinant of adoption when it comes to soil health and nutrient management practices. And while farmers are able to recognize and appreciate profitability realized in 3-year terms, the greatest influence will be profitability in the year that a technology or product is used. If the proposed solutions requires cooperative management or use through custom operators in order to be profitable, we ask that applicants consider how the solution might fit into existing networks of cooperative management or custom operations. Farmer-to-farmer translation. Farmers learn best from each other, and the farmers in our organization are willing and able to participate in education and outreach efforts to share their experiences in using successful solutions. Agronomic assessments, because soils and climate and farm operations vary so much across Ontario. Providing an agronomic assessment can give farmers a greater appreciation for the ways in which a solution would fit into their existing operation. And so the IFAO will seek to support pilot projects in kind of assessing how it does fit. Skilled labor shortages is another constraint that farmers experience. There is a significant labor shortage in agriculture, and hiring employees with skills necessary to manage and implement soil health and nutrient management best practices is increasingly difficult. Skills training and simplicity of solutions will be the key to successful adoption. Nutrient management plans are not required of field crop farmers in Ontario. And this is often a stumbling stone that a lot of startups reach. If your solution requires a nutrient management plan, be prepared to support farmers through a new and often daunting process. Fertilizer consultation resources. Currently, farmers in Ontario receive advice on fertilizer application from sales teams, and farmers really appreciate independent information on fertilizer rates and application because they need to trust that they're applying the most economical rate. And finally, but possibly the most important constraint is weather uncertainties. Farmers experience and therefore need information on the effectiveness of a product under the wide variety of weather conditions that they face in any given year. Predicting rainfall is a significant challenge directly affecting how accurate and economical farmers can be with their nutrient placement. And that's it.
Thanks, Tori. Fantastic overview. So let's go over some key dates. So the submission window opened on November 2nd. So we are now accepting applications. Obviously, today we're doing an information webinar, and we will be continuing to accept submissions until January 11th, and we will close them at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. After the submission window is closed, we'll do a screening to ensure completeness and eligibility, which will then pass the applications over to our reviewers. Once they've had a chance to review, there will be a short list that is notified and they will be invited to pitch. Based on those pitches, we will be making announcements in March of 2023. So looking at eligibility criteria, we're looking for solutions that are at a technology readiness level between 6 and 9. And this is really to align with the opportunity to participate in the pilot program. So solutions must be ready to participate in the pilots, potentially as early as spring 2023. Solutions need to be applicable to a Canadian agricultural context. So the solution doesn't necessarily need to be based in Canada, but it needs to be relevant to a Canadian context. And of course, there needs to be a demonstrated improvement to nutrient management and soil health. So how do you apply? The process is fairly straightforward. You'll need to register on the competition website, so you can see the web link there. Once you have signed up, you can complete all the sections of the application form, and then you will receive a confirmation email once you have submitted it. Again, the deadline for submissions is 11:59 p.m. Pacific time on January 11th. So as I mentioned, the review process includes a few steps. So applications that are received will be screened by the Foresight team to make sure that they're complete and well aligned with the objectives of the challenge, fulfill the eligibility criteria, etc. And they will be sent to our review committee, which is made up of IFAO members and a representative from Farm Credit Canada. Will select finalists based on the committee's review, and they will be invited to a pitch session with the committee to explain their technology in detail. And the most interesting solutions will be selected as a winner or winners and be invited to participate in the on-farm pilot projects. Some tips for your application. So first, double check to make sure that you fulfill the eligibility requirements. Make sure that you will be a fit for the challenge, so it's not a waste of your time to go through the application process. Don't wait until the deadline to submit your application. We've all had those technical glitches in the past, and it is a lot easier to deal with if you have more time. Unfortunately, we are unable to accept applications received after the deadline. Be sure to provide data evidence where relevant to support qualitative descriptions, and make sure to use clear language in the technical descriptions of the project. Let us know about the work and progress on the technology to date. Other than that, if you have questions about any of the challenge processes, anything related to your application, feel free to reach out to us at challenges@foresightcac.com. And before we dive into the Q&A, I want to just quickly thank our sponsors. Of course, this challenge is presented with support from the Innovative Farmers Association of Ontario and founding AgriNext partners, Farm Credit Canada and Natural Products Canada. Farm Credit Canada's funding support for innovative technology and sustainable agriculture, in combination with Foresight's proven accelerator model, are the keys to unlocking a green and resilient agriculture future for all Canadians. With the support of FCC, we are expanding our support for the agri-tech and agri-food innovation community and industry in Canada with the launch of AgriNext events, initiatives, and venture training courses. And if you're interested in learning more about Foresight's AgriNext program, get in touch or check us out on our website. So with that, I'm going to open it up to the Q&A, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So folks, feel free to put your questions in the Q&A function. And if we need a little bit more clarification, we can unmute. So first question, Tori, do you cover solutions to support golf courses?
No, we support we cover solutions that support field crop farms.
Another question, should we introduce a farmer partner in the project?
No, if you have one and you want to, great. That won't affect our decision making whatsoever. We have about 500 members in the Innovative Farmers Association, and all of them are really excited and keen to figure out what soil health and nutrient management solutions are best.
Okay, so this is a good one for folks who might not be based in Ontario. Could they perform the test in this case, they're based in Ireland, subject to it working in Canadian soil requirements?
I think I need some clarification on this question to answer it best. So I think what you're asking is if you have some soil health assessments and kind of qualitative assessments of your product done already, do those assessments count as long as it's applicable to Canadian soil types and climate requirements? If you could just confirm if I've got your question right. If so, then yes, a lot of these soil health indicators are universal. I believe that in the application package, we've listed some specific types of soil health tests, but soil health tests, just FYI, that are highly applicable to the Ontario context are soil organic matter increases, soil respiration, permanganate, oxidizable carbon, also known as active carbon tests, potentially potentially mineralizable nitrogen, and wet aggregate stability are kind of the 5 best soil indicators for the Ontario context. So if you have those test results, share them with us.
Great. I think, Cathal, we haven't done full tests on farm basis, but some tests have been performed on the chemical makeup. Fantastic.
We haven't done anything on a farm basis, as I say, but yeah, we have done some assessment on our product. So we'd obviously be stepping up to that next level, but being in Ireland, it doesn't make sense to go to Canada just set up just on the hope of getting this competition Is there many? Are you selecting one winner or winners, or how many options? How many spots are available?
Yeah, it really depends on how many solutions come forward and what kind of budget asks they have. We're gonna try and max out our budget, and so if there are solution winners that aren't going to use the entirety of the budget, then we'll seek to select more than one. So,
is it a particular crop that you're going for, or I know as a general, or?
So we are aiming for field crop operations, which in the Ontario context means corn, soy, wheat, and like, you know, with some flexibility for edible beans and canola are kind of two other crops, and maybe barley if, yeah. But corn, soy, wheat are kind of our three major crops in Ontario to focus on. Yeah, I think whatever results you have that you use to validate your product, include those. On our selection committee, we have we have an incredible selection committee of farmers, industry members, and researchers. So kind of no matter what information you share with us, there will be one person that will know what it means.
Good stuff. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, we have another question. For the competition, does the solution need to involve field work, or could it be remote sensing AI-based?
It can be remote sensing and AI-based, so long as it improves soil health and nutrient management and can be used in a field operation, like you're ready to move it out of the greenhouse and into a field operation, then you're welcome here.
Excellent. Give another couple of minutes for folks to have any other questions that come up. Sounds like it could be quite a wide range of solutions, which is exciting.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
Can it be a partnered submission?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think, like, you know, baseline eligibility for us is that it has to improve nutrient management and soil health. And it has to be applicable to Ontario agriculture, and specifically like field crop operations in Ontario. And beyond that, creativity is welcome. We certainly, you know, we look for those like multifaceted solutions that improve soil health and nutrient management in a number of ways. We love to hear about your plans for priming farmers for adoption, you know, like how you're going to make solutions simple, or how you're going to help folks learn. We love to hear about the wide range of weather conditions that you've trialed your product in, so that farmers can go in knowing that they're going to be okay in a drought and okay in a wet year. We love to hear about all of the, you know, validation, whether independent or not, that your company has done in advance of bringing this product to market. We love to hear about, like, you know, the agronomics of it, the profitability of it. We'd love to hear about, like, applicable scale. You know, if your product is really geared towards those BTOs, those big time operators, or if it's geared towards like the average farmer working with like 1,000 acres. But, you know, when it comes down to it, it has to be a solution that is for Ontario agriculture, not limited to Ontario agriculture, but is applicable to Ontario agriculture, and is going to move mountains for nutrient management and soil health. Beyond that.
Fantastic. That was very helpful background context, Tori. We have another question coming in. Do participating farmers get incentives to deploy or pilot these solutions? Or is it mostly the benefit from getting the solution early and at a lower cost?
Yeah, so our goal with the funding is that the farmers are not going to have to incur costs for including the new product into their operation. We are going to continue to do fundraising throughout the life of this project. But as it stands right now, farmers will be doing it because they are members of the Innovative Farmers Association, and very curious people that would be doing this with us or not.
Perfect. We have a question from Suhasani. What is the maximum team size for the competition? I can probably take a crack at this, and maybe just a quick clarification. Do you mean in terms of number of collaborators or number of people from a particular organization? I don't think there's a maximum team size. We want to hear, it'll be more about the quality of the solution rather than needing to put a limit on the number of people involved. Thank you all so much for joining, and thank you, Tori, for sharing that very useful information for our potential participants. We really look forward to seeing your solutions. Again, that deadline is January 11th, and feel free to get in touch if you have any questions while you're putting your application together.